Ever wondered what it's like to outrun a saber-toothed tiger? Well, our ancestors had no choice. Long before cities, cars, or even sandwiches, humans were dodging predators. Before humans built cities, tamed animals, or sowed fields, they lived in a world dominated by raw nature. Their lives were dictated not by clocks or calendars, but by the cycles of the sun, the rhythm of the seasons, and the relentless quest for survival. Every day was a challenge, a battle to find food, to avoid predators, and to endure the harsh elements of a world that was both beautiful and merciless. For early humans, food was not guaranteed. They could not simply open a pantry or visit a market. They had to hunt, gather, and fish to survive. Hunting was not merely a means to an end. It was the central pillar of prehistoric life, shaping the development of skills, social structures, and technology. The hunt demanded both physical endurance and intelligence. Early humans were not the strongest creatures in their environment. Enormous creatures such as mammoths, bisons, and saber-toothed cats dwarfed them. Yet early humans developed a combination of strategy, cooperation, and tools that allowed them to succeed where brute strength alone would fail. Hunting large animals required meticulous planning. Groups of hunters often observed their prey for hours, tracking their movements, noting patterns, and identifying weaknesses. They learned the behavior of animals, where predators hunted, and how weather affected movements. Patience and knowledge were as valuable as speed and strength. Weapons were simple, yet deadly in capable hands. Spears with sharpened stone tips, hand axes, and later bows allowed humans to strike from a distance. Sometimes, hunters employed traps, pitfalls, or used natural features such as cliffs and rivers to their advantage. One of the most effective strategies involved driving animals toward narrow passes or enclosed areas, where they could be cornered and dispatched with reduced risk. But the same megafauna that provided food could kill hunters with a single swipe of a paw or tusk. Even small mistakes, stepping into a pit, startling a herd too early, or misjudging an animal's charge could result in fatal injuries. Predators were not only competitors but constant threats. Lions, wolves, hyenas, and bears shared the same hunting grounds, and encounters could turn deadly in seconds. Survival required vigilance, courage, and often, sheer luck. Hunting was also a social activity. It strengthened bonds within groups and fostered cooperation. Some distracted prey, others flanked, and some were designated to deliver the killing strike. The division of labor enhanced efficiency and safety. Knowledge of the land, animal behavior, and seasonal patterns was shared among all members, forming a collective intelligence that improved with every generation. Megafauna were both a blessing and a curse. Mammoths, giant deer, and prehistoric bison offered massive amounts of meat and hides. Yet, killing such beasts required coordination, courage, and often, sacrifice. The consequences of failure were dire. A single mistake could result in injury or death, leaving the group weakened and vulnerable to other threats. Fishing complemented hunting, providing a reliable source of nutrition. Rivers, lakes, and coastal areas were abundant with fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. Early humans developed techniques such as spearfishing, trapping, and nets made from plant fibers. Fishing was less dangerous than hunting megafauna, but not without risks. Swift currents, deep waters, and aggressive aquatic predators, like crocodiles or giant fish, posed constant hazards. Nevertheless, mastering fishing offered a stable source of nourishment, especially during seasons when large game was scarce. Survival required adaptation to diverse environments. In colder climates, humans relied on fur clothing and fire to endure freezing temperatures. In forests, they learned to move silently, use natural cover, and exploit high ground. In open plains, speed, endurance, and teamwork became critical. Each landscape demanded unique strategies for hunting, pushing humans to refine their skills. When hunting failed or herds migrated beyond reach, humans had to improvise. Scavenging from predator kills also became a vital strategy, teaching humans to recognize danger while seizing opportunity. The psychological challenges of prehistoric life were immense. Fear, uncertainty, and the constant threat of death forged resilience and ingenuity. Humans developed not just tools, but tactics, and even rudimentary planning. Hunting also drove technological evolution. Stone-tipped spears, clubs, and throwing sticks were continuously refined. The invention of the bow and arrow allowed attacks from greater distances, reducing risk and increasing success rates. Fire was central to survival. Not only did it provide warmth and protection from predators, but it also allowed humans to cook food, increasing its digestibility and nutritional value. Cooked meat offered more calories with less effort, giving humans an edge in stamina and growth. Fire also became a tool for hunting, as controlled burns could drive animals into traps. Each generation inherited not only tools but knowledge, which animals were safe to eat, how to track prey, and how to survive in an unpredictable world. Predators were omnipresent, both as competition and threat. Wolves could ambush solitary humans, large cats could stalk unwary hunters, and bears could dominate rivers and forests. Humans learned to read the signs of danger, tracks in mud, scratches on trees, or the distant roar of a predator. Early humans were not apex predators by strength alone, they were apex predators by strategy, intelligence, and cooperation. The interplay between humans and megafauna shaped ecosystems. Overhunting sometimes led to local extinctions, which in turn forced humans to adapt and diversify their diet. The extinction of large prey animals pushed humans to develop smaller game hunting techniques, trapping, and advanced fishing, ensuring survival even as some species vanished. Fishing, while less glamorous than hunting mammoths, played a critical role. It allowed humans to inhabit rivers, lakes, and coastal areas where large game was less accessible. Early humans observed fish behavior, tides, and seasonal spawning cycles, learning to time their efforts for maximum efficiency. Shellfish and crustaceans provided not only food but also materials for tools and ornaments. Fishing also demanded strategy. Swift rivers, deep waters, and predatory fish created hazards, requiring humans to adapt. Knowledge of water currents, fish habits, and seasonal patterns was transmitted across generations, forming the early foundations of human ingenuity. The prehistoric hunt was not merely a way to fill stomachs, it was a crucible that forged human intelligence, creativity, and resilience. Every animal tracked, and every river crossed contributed to the evolution of our species. By understanding their struggles, their strategies, and their triumphs, we gain insight into the innate ingenuity of our ancestors. Prehistoric hunt was the first great story of survival, and it is a story that continues to this day.